Alright guys, what I have here is a 4L60E input drum, and I put some fluid here in the back because we are going to test this drum for leakage. The 3/4 clutches are burned, and this transmission has been built. So this is what I do on all of my units. I test them first. If I have a small leak, then I'll take the shaft off, put some JB Weld. I used to put Loctite, but now I put JB Weld because it works better, and it seals better, and it actually, bonds both pieces together. So let's put some air on the third clutch circuit and see what it's gonna look like. We're gonna need to cover this hole. I'm gonna kind of rotate this so that you guys can see if this thing is gonna leak or not. And I cannot see the hole because it's on the opposite end, and my blowgun is probably gonna be in the way. So here we go. Whoa, that's a lot of leak. That's a lot of fluid coming out of this drum. All right, well, it's coming out of here through this side. Now there's a little cup plug here that I don't think it's coming out of the cup plug. I'm gonna try and put a little bit of less air. I already got fluid all over my face and probably on the camera itself. I'm gonna throttle this very slowly to see if I'm gonna be able to accomplish that. And it is coming from here, and the plug is over here. So I've seen these drums that sometimes by hand they come out. All right, so that's the 3/4 clutch circuit, and this bleed hole right here, you cover that and put air into it. Now let's go ahead and oh man, look at this. This sealing ring is cut. The sealing ring is cut. And I see a brand new stator bushing on this thing. I'm not sure if this is a new stator or if it's yeah, there's stator bushings front and rear. There's new of them. This transmission has been done recently. Well, I guess within a year or maybe less. I moved the drum over there, and look at this. The fluid disappeared. Well, no, it came out of the side hose when I did this. Well, now that we have no fluid, well, let's check the rest. All right, so I want to check the top one. This thing is not holding at all, and I can see air coming through here. It's ripped. Something is ripped. This one is actually holding pretty good. And 3/4 is gone. So you cover this. Yeah, 3/4, it's gone. This drum is considered no good, but don't hold your horses yet. Don't pull the trigger. We need to remove the input shaft out of the drum, but I think it's going to be a waste of time because this thing is just, and I got the wrong screwdriver to pull this out. I don't use this one, it's too big. All right, so as you can see, 3/4 are smoked. Let's put that to the side. Got fluid running on my face. All right, let's remove our forward frictions, which they look in good shape. Our overrun, they look in good shape. Let me take the pistons out. I believe we have a blown piston as well, because it was not, one of the circuits was not air checking. Let me hold that thought right quick. Let me get my pliers and let me just take the snap ring off really quick. Hold that thought right there. I know I would like to, you guys would like to see it on camera, but I got it on my foot press. All right. Just keep on enjoying that view that you have on the camera of the burnt clutches. All right. So here's our snap ring. Here's our return spring. And let's put air on the third clutch circuit and everything should come right out. There we go. Third clutch, molded piston, looks all right. Return spring. Let's check our forward. This is a forward clutch piston retainer. And our forward piston looks good. But our overrun, check this out. You guys see what I see? There's no check ball in the piston. It's gone. What the hell? It is gone. It's not in here. It's not in the frictions. I have not torn the whole transmission knot down yet. So this is strange. I want to put you guys on pause. I'm gonna remove the input shaft out of here. And what I use, hold that thought right quick. Let me see if I can find it right quick. So I use this forward hub of a 4L60E, and I just sit it like that and hit the input shaft out of the drum, and this acts as a support. And on my case down here where I stand my transmissions, that's where I do that. And to install it, I support the drum, tap it in, you know, maybe a third of the way or maybe less, and then go to my shop press and then just finish it pressing it in. All right, let me remove the input shaft and let's see what it looks like. Hold on, hold that thought. I'll be right back. So guess what? I was about to start hitting on this thing. I think it's gonna come out by hand. If I just hit this, it'll come out. Well, just watch this. This drum is no good. I would not try to fix this drum. Sometimes you will see it pitted. This one is not pitted. So the shaft looks good, but the wear is going to be on the drum itself. And I don't think I'm going to be able to show you anything that you can see. Oh yeah. Here, you can see on that hole underneath, there is a lot of wear. And actually, you can see it on the splines as well, on the middle of it. Like on the center, you can see where this thing, where the shaft was racking back and forth. All right, guys. Well, I need to finish tearing this thing down. So we have confirmed that this input shaft is no good, and it's gonna need the input drum. And this is like a 2011 model. It has an input speed sensor, and this one has the internal mode switch inside of the transmission. And it also has an input speed sensor code, as I was told. So we're gonna need to get this drum complete with pistons to correct this problem. We're gonna need a new band. This band looks like it was installed. I need to check this for straightness, like always, and it looks pretty straight, but I still gotta put my straight edge on it and check it for straightness, and just check the rest of the unit out. But this video, this short video, it's just to show you guys that you always want to check this for leaks, and that's the way you do it, to check it for leaks. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean this up real good. I'm still going to JB Weld this drum on it, and we're probably going to come back and check it for leaks, but I will not use this drum. I do have another drum here that I had repaired, and I am not using this drum either. This I was doing another unit, and this I just have it there as a paperweight. So this other drum, even though I repaired it, I would not trust it. I would not trust it, not even on a cargo van. And as a matter of fact, this is a cargo van behind a 4.3 liter engine. So maybe all that weight and all that stop and go, you know, pulling a trailer, you know, the contractors, they love to use this express vans with the 4.3s and the 4L60s and pulling a lot of stuff, and all that stop and go. I mean, he rocks the shaft in there, and he causes this failure. This sitting ring, I believe, was caused by the builder, because he has brand new stator bushings here. There's no way you could damage that with new stator bushings. If you had old worn out stator bushings, when there's no more bushing left, the input drum will wobble inside the stator, and it'll eat it up. All right, guys, well, there you go. There you have it. And one more under the belt. All right, well, after JB welding the drum, so I mean, I got two more drums that I got another drum that I got repaired, and we're gonna do a testing on this one. We're gonna do a testing on that other one, and just remember that you have to cover this hole. And the bad thing about it is I'm gonna cover it with this finger here. So we're gonna look in here, and hopefully the light shines good. And I'm gonna try, it's on the opposite end, I'm gonna try and put some air in here, and we're gonna look at it down there and just look for leaks. So let's stick our blowgun in the hole and just throttle it just a little bit. And I don't have it centered. Okay, right there. Right there is holding, and sometimes the air coming out of the little hole kind of hurts a little bit. So kind of hold it real good. It's leaking. It's kind of hard to position yourself here and center it. There we go. Nope. And always on camera, that's when he does it more. There we go. Now I'm holding the pressure. There's nothing leaking, and my thumb is kind of hurting a little bit because he wants to leak out. Now the overrun, that is the top one. Remember that piston that was missing the check ball? Well, let's go ahead and check that. And to check that, you got to hold the forward with your finger as well. So we're gonna air check the overrun. When we let go of our, it's holding pressure right there, and I just put a little bit of air in it. So I'm gonna let go of the blowgun, and you're gonna hear it disengage, and then the forward drum will also disengage or unapply. Overrun unapplied. I'm gonna let my thumb off of the forward, and the forward unapplied. So those circuits were perfectly good. There's nothing coming out of here. You see that there's no bubbles coming out. Now let's go ahead and apply our forward clutch circuit, which is going to be good because I had my thumb on it and it was still holding pressure. So here we go. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get this, and I have a bunch of these tips that they just ripped from here, and I hope that, I mean, whoever makes these, they will update it with the better rubber. So here we go. See that? It already started. It starts to expand, and then it leaks from back here. It bubbles up. See that? So, I mean, I hope they get this thing fixed because we use it. Us transmission rebuilders, we use these things a lot. So there we go. I mean, we got a perfectly good sealed drum. And the check ball, it's also sealing pretty good. The other drum that I just fixed, it's leaking a little bit from the check ball. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to get the other drum over here and show you with the... right there, it's holding pretty good. It's holding. It's holding. Let my thumb off. There we go. See that? No bubbles. This drum is good to go. It's good to go. So always check your drums like this. Put a little bit of transmission fluid there. The third clutch is the one on the bottom. The forward clutch is the one in the middle. And the overrun clutch is the one on the very top. Now, let me get that drum out of the way. So I have this replacement drum, and this one was not leaking very little. And this is the replacement drum that was going to go on that other one, that is going to on that other one. But I repaired that one. That's the one that came out of it, which is good. No big deal. But this one had no leaks at all. Just a little bitty bubble coming out. And once you see a little bitty bubble coming out, that means that later down the road, something's gonna happen. But the check ball's leaking. And in order for us to check that, we need to vacuum test it. So let's go ahead and do I got my phone charger cable wrapped up over here. Let me get this thing out of the way. I'm not using it right now anyways. So we get our vacuum test stand, and I'm not sure if camera will pick that up, but I'm gonna need a little adapter for here for the hose. One that will go over the check ball, which is this one. It's kind of hard to do try to kind of film this because I'm gonna go on the side, because I mean the ball is down there, the check ball is down there, and it's not gonna suck it up. All right, the first thing that we're gonna do, like always, it's very hot here in Texas, and it's very humid today. It's going to be about 100 degrees today, so we have to calibrate this. So remember, it's 5 on this side and 25 on the other side, which the humidity brought it to 25.5. So let's go ahead and lower it just a hair. So we are right at 25 and 5. All right. So I'm gonna see if I can get this thing actually picked up. Well, now it's sealing pretty good. It wasn't sealing that good. I just cleaned it up and blow it off. Probably a little bit of see that it's on 25. So our check ball is sealing pretty good. And I cleaned the drum, real good, because I needed to, and then I got one of my bench buddies, to clean the shaft in there. And then with the bench grinder on one side I have a stone, and on the other side I have a wire brush all the way around, where it's gonna go into the drum. Maybe next time I'll get one. I'll show you how to take the shaft off and do the repair, do the JB Weld kind of thing and go around it. And this little cup plug right here, it doesn't really matter if you get a little bit of a JB Weld in it, but this one over here, it has to be clear, because this is the weep hole for your third clutch. So we see that our check ball, it's in good shape. And I do not remember, there's a lot of sweat coming out of my arms, that's all them droplets down here. I do not remember seating the ball, but let me get a little punch right here. So you get a big sledgehammer like this one, the biggest one you can find in your toolbox, big sledgehammer, and then you get a long little punch. You go on top of the check ball and just tap it. what you're doing is reseating the ball to the capsule. And also you do that to the one in the case. Now on the superior ones that have the spring on them, I also vacuum test them, and some of them leak. I'm not sure it's because of the spring, but I also do that. I just push it down gently and then just tap and seat the ball on it. And then on that one, since it's got a spring, I have to push it a little bit and stick my vacuum hose on it and check it for leaks. And I don't think it's a quality control, so don't think it's a quality control issue. But anyways, you do that, and then you just vacuum test it. Try to get your hose on the thing. And here we see we got 25. We have perfect vacuum. So it's picking up the check ball. We have perfect vacuum on this check ball. Actually, sometimes you got to go like this to get the ball, you know, to fall in there. But basically, or normally, when you wash the drum and you get all the metal and all the things out of it, and then you use compressed air. You use a lot of compressed air when you clean the stuff like this. Clean it up real good, and I mean, there you go. So I'm gonna build this drum as well, but not on camera. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish up that unit I was working on that I show you that I'm gonna use this drum instead of that other one that I just showed you. There's nothing wrong with that drum. I can use that drum, that's no big deal. But this one had no leaks when I got it, and I still repair it. This drum right here is the one that had the big leak, and the shaft came out like real easy, right? But this drum has been sitting for about a day now. I mean, it'll just stay on the shelf, you know, for I don't know how long until I need another one. But this is good to go. This is good to go. The only thing is that this is a cargo van, and they put a lot of weight on it, and I do not want to risk an issue with that using that drum. So I'm going to build this other drum, and I know it looks a little different because it looks like it's been washed in a parts washer that probably the water was not was not clean. And when you wash a lot of parts in your parts washer and you let it go for a week, let's say you do 10 transmissions or whatever, and 2-3 weeks later you still have the same water, well, the water starts impregnating the carbon. It's actually carbon that gets mixed with the water, because transmission fluid, I mean, it's carbon. It's carbon based, so it's petroleum based, right? So it'll kind of stain your case and all your aluminum parts gray. There's nothing wrong with it. But what you got to do though, like where the rubber meets the aluminum, you have to get the scuffing pad, Scotch-Brite scuffing pad, and just clean all that stuff up, and you're good to go. I still got to clean this better, a little bit better, and go over it with this scuffing pad and get it shiny like that crab from Moana. Shiny. Get it nice and clean, man. Alrighty. Well, here we go. How to test a 4L60 drum for leaks. And I did show you that piston, right? Here's the piston. Here's the piston that has no check ball. And here's the used one, actually. I mean, this is a known good one. I got to get all the new parts off of this drum and transfer them on that one once I'm done with that drum. But see the check ball there? And actually, you can also test this one. Let me get so we already have this thing calibrated. Let's go ahead and turn the vacuum pump back on. Even though it's a new part, so here we check. And I think it went down a little bit. I guess the humidity does make a lot of difference. Well, let me recalibrate this thing. Yeah, it went down, it moved a little bit, so it is getting humider and more humid as we go. All right, let's go ahead and stick our little adapter here and check it. And this one needs to be seated because we got 24 and a half. Let me get the camera up a little bit. And I don't think you can. I cannot turn this because this is kind of short, this other hose over here. So you're just gonna have to trust the gauge on that angle. So we check it. We got 24. Let's see if we can make it a little better, to seal a little better. We still got 24. And I think this hose is a little bit too big. It's only one, because this check valve is smaller and this one is not going to fit here, right? Let's try and use the other end of this hose. The flattest side, they both look the same. And let's try to get in there as good as possible as we can. It's my hose, but it's 24. 24 is good. So let's do it without anything. And I know this is kind of small. Let's see if we can bring it up. Oh yeah, 25. That's a perfect seal. I'm gonna try to hold it with my finger like this. Just stick this. It brings the ball up. 24 and a half. Probably needs to be cleaned up a little bit. That's all. Let's go this way. Oh, come on now. All right. You get the idea. You get the idea. Let me see what else I got over here that I can use to check that. Let's use this adapter right here. All right. Well, you get the idea. I need to get me one to I usually use this hose. I never had an issue until now. And I have a bunch of little adapters here that I use. But that hose, this hose is the one that I always use. So I don't know why you don't want to it does not want to comply on camera. But we saw that one time it was 25. And with this hose it's 24, 23 and a half. But we're good. I mean, we're over 15, but we gotta be zero on this thing all the time. Zero leak. See right there, right there. It just did it. It worked. All right, guys. So there we go. How to pressure test a drum for reducing 3/4 clutch burnup. And I know that the 3/4 clutch burnup, even though you do all this and you still have a leakage in your boost valve system, you have a worn actuator feet limit valve in the valve body and stuff like that, I mean, you're still gonna have issues. But here we go. One more little tip and trick for the 4L60s to keep him on the road longer. Also bushings and all the, all that good stuff. Keep on watching. See y'all guys later.